Hello everyone and welcome to Forward Life Live. I'm your host Nathan Larson. Special episode this week. Get a chance to meet our new Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Chris Lockwood. Chris, how you doing?
Good. Thanks, Nathan.
You know, I've had a great experience so far at Forward Life with Dr. Lockwood. I've had a chance to travel with him to a few meetings and had a chance to learn all about him and his history, but I want you to hear the same thing. So Dr. Lockwood, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, before coming to Forward Life, I've been a little bit here and there. I don't have a classical academic background, so my first calling through undergrad school, I went into to industry and sales. So I understand a lot of what you go through each and every day trying to get new accounts. It was a car wreck that got me to kind of change my direction and go back to school, and found that I loved the study of the human body and how it could perform better, and did my graduate work in exercise science and found a calling in writing, and was at Muscle and Fitness for a while, and found that I liked the supplement side and ended up pursuing a career in the dietary supplement industry in a brand management fashion first. And then, which took me then eventually to GNC, where I headed the diet division, diet and energy division for GNC for quite some time. And then I went back and started doing consulting in the dietary supplement and fitness industry and food industry, and started pursuing my PhD. And I started initially in nutritional products from natural or medicinal chemistry from natural products, and ended up in physiology and exercise physiology at the University of Oklahoma. And then, interestingly enough, while still in my program, was called to come back and head the magazines Muscle and Fitness and Muscle and Fitness Earth. So while still in my PhD and collecting data and being a father and being a husband and teaching classes and taking classes, I was flying back and forth twice a week between California and Oklahoma, and teaching classes and finishing my degree. And so I'm not a stranger to hard work and what it takes when you set your sights on a goal. And so you'll find, don't be surprised if you see communications from me at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I don't sleep much, and so I tend to like to make products that help us keep mental acuity. But I was doing consulting until being contacted by Forward Life. Working on new ingredients and substantiating formulations, working with a lot of companies to do clinical trials. Much of my research at Oklahoma University is in nutritional supplement interventions, changes in metabolism, body composition, and a lot of protein research is where I did my dissertation and where I was focusing. So when contacted by Forward Life, it was a great marriage of where I wanted to see my research and the interests of Forward Life with transfer factors.
Wow, do you see why I'm so excited? Man, I can't wait for the future. Future's looking good, but you know what? I noticed you bounced around a little bit, and you mentioned Forward Life being a perfect marriage. Tell me a little bit. What's it been like for you to be at Forward Life so far?
It's been an absolute joy. Having worked at GNC and Muscle and Fitness and Weeder Nutrition or Shift Nutrition and big companies, little companies, I have in my life never met a nicer group of people to work for. I have the utmost respect for David and Bianca Lissenby and Steve too, and everyone that I've worked with, and have loved working with the distributors. And so I feel like a lot of my training, background, and experiences, challenges that I've had to overcome, that maybe at the time didn't make a whole lot of sense, has really come together for this time here. And so I've absolutely loved the time here. So.
Well, we've loved having you come on. We can't wait for the future. But you know, you might hear the background noise. You might see a little bit of work going on. We're here in the Research and Development Lab in Forward Life's corporate office. Tell us a little bit. What goes on in here?
Well, this is one of really 3 labs that we have. This is our R&D and applications lab. So in this lab here we do, as you see Jill in the background, is one of our R&D technicians, and Jill is working on how we can make formulations better. So we work on taking existing blends and seeing their physical properties and how we can improve them. We look at using new raw materials, and so we're always assessing those and how they can run more productive or more efficiently through the manufacturing equipment. And so that's actually the project she's working on today. But we also, all of the early brain power of coming up with a new formulation would happen here. We would put together pilot samples. We have a new pilot suite that we built just next door to here, where we can take things that we make benchtop here and put them in an actual encapsulator and a what's called a pilot blender. So it mimics a very large-scale manufacturing facility in a very small size. So we can actually come to market with things that we've already been able to play with. We see how they're going to react. We can put them into stability, so we get a chance to see how they, so that they can remain stable over time throughout the shelf life. We've got another lab down the way, which is our chemistry, our analytical lab, where we look at all the quality on products, ingredients. So everything that comes into this building, even from the time when we first start looking at different suppliers, we'll test the raw materials, we'll validate those raw materials, so we'll qualify those suppliers. Once we qualify those materials, then anything that comes into this building, we test them. There's well over 20 tests that we'll run before we release anything for you to distribute or consume. So a little bit of a taste of what we do here. We also have some biological testing that we do here. So when we do in-house analytical testing from a physiologial response, we can use things like this, which is a plate reader, so we can look at how things are, enzymes are reacting in the body, and so in the bloodstream and things like that.
So basically what you're telling me is you've got a lot of toys to play.
Yeah, a lot of toys.
All right, well that's good, that's good. Well, one of the most amazing things that I've found already with Dr. Lockwood is he's only been here for what, 5, 6 months?
6 months.
6 months? And he's already created a new product that's going to be launched in just a week, and that product is?
Can't tell you.
Oh, I tried. I try. I always try and take care of you. But is there anything you can tease us a little bit? Because I've been telling everybody on the road, you've let me take it for a few weeks now, and I love it. It's a game changer in my opinion. You're going to love this great product. Is there anything else you can maybe tease them with?
Yeah, I was challenged when I first got here to create a product that somebody could take, feel right away, that could make them have the energy and vitality and recovery ability of their youth. And so I think we nailed it. We have a clinical study that we did prior to approval for launch. So we have a safety and efficacy study that we've performed. So we've got clinical data on the product, and that's about as much as I'll say for it. But you have to show up at the convention. I know that that's the big thing.
That is the key. You got to be there to buy it. We're going to put it on the shelf for 90 days after the convention. So you have to be there. You got to buy it, and you just have to stock up. You got to make sure you have enough to get through it. And you probably ought to buy a few extra, because I'm sure your downline is going to come wanting to buy some from you. All right, now the last thing that we've had a chance to talk about when we were on the road that really inspired me is we've done a great job so far, Dr. Lockwood. We have patents, we have great products, we have the best products in the world, let's face it. And one time we were talking, I think over dinner, and you mentioned some of the ideas you had for the future. Can you kind of lay out what to expect as the future, what your game plan is as we move forward?
One thing you'll see from the R&D department as we move forward is just a more focused approach. So, if it's not innovation or substantiation or educating you on how to sell the products better, how to use them more in with your customers or yourself, you won't see the R&D department getting as involved in it. What we are going to try to do is come out with new, innovative products as 4Life has in the past. And obviously, if you look at my background and where I come from, it's probably not a hard stretch to understand where we might go with a product line, and where you'll see some emphasis in body transformation, and that's about as much as I'll say there. But we'll look at, again, trying to be a leader in innovation. We have started investing heavily in transferceutical science, where right now we've got 7 clinical trials that we're doing right now, and I'm excited to tell you as well, and I'll give you a little sneak preview of something that we did that Steve too signed off on as of October 1st, is we now are funding a research fund at Auburn University in Alabama, which they just built a $24 million research facility, and a dear friend of mine who I've collaborated with for many years is a research professor there, and we now have access to his lab, and so we'll be doing a lot more research. But right now we are breaking apart transfer factor materials and understanding more of what makes them up and how we can come up with more targeted formulations based on that learning. So little sample.
Well, there you have it, everybody. I mean, the future's bright. We're doing amazing things at 4Life. In this guy's hands, as we're going to keep going, moving forward, having great products, exclusive products just for you. Thank you very much, Dr. Lockwood, for joining me today. And thank you very much for joining us on 4Life Live.